Welcome to the Foster Care Data Mini Webinar. I'm Jackie Jacobson, and I'm the Tennessee Foster Care Point of Contact. Today, we're going to be discussing coding of foster care students and managing that data. Here you see the 3 priorities of the Tennessee Department of Education, and clearly foster care students fit into every one of these priorities: academics, student readiness, and educators. Today, throughout the presentation, we're going to focus on a few components. We're going to talk about best interest in school of origin, along with how to identify foster students, coding those foster students, and we're going to talk about other types of DCS educational placements, along with a few suggestions to improve your data quality. Let's begin with a review of the law and the definition of foster care students. As we're all aware, ESSA requires states, LEAs, and child welfare agencies to collaborate to promote the best interest of foster children, including prioritizing their enrollment in the school of origin, immediately enrolling in another school if that school of origin is not in his or her best interest, quickly and immediately transferring academic and other records, and developing procedures to provide and fund transportation. Just a quick review of how we identify children in foster care. We identify foster children as children placed away from their parents or legal guardians by DCS. And this is an important point. The Department of Children's Services must have care, custody, and control of the child for a foster care determination to be made. These foster care students are listed on a monthly report that DCS submits to the Department of Education, who in turn sends that list to each LEA's school nutrition department. You will find that this list does not include students who are staying with a family, friend, or relative, are homeless per the McKinney-Vento definition, or are considered runaways. Now let's talk about how to code these students in foster care. We use the FOS01 foster care designation classification only for students on the DCS foster care list. Additionally, we use the J-Direct certification of economic disadvantage. Students on that DCS foster care list are part of the economically disadvantaged subgroup and are coded with J-Direct certification of economic disadvantage in addition to the FOS01 foster care student classification, because they are categorically eligible for free school meals due to their foster care status. A reminder about that economically disadvantaged subgroup. For accountability, assessment, and funding purposes, that subgroup consists of students eligible for free school meals due to their economic disadvantage because of their participation in a program like TANF or SNAP, or their categoric eligibility through status as FOS01 foster care, homeless, immigrant, or runaway. Once the student enters foster care, that status will remain for the entire school year. So please code students with FOS01 foster care and J-Direct Cert student classifications in all enrollments for the remainder of the school year, regardless of any change in foster care status. Let's check for understanding by using a scenario. We have a student who has been removed from his or her family and placed in a foster home in the custody of DCS. That student is still enrolled in the school of origin. What code should you use? Is it A, no changes, enrollment information stays the same because the student has not moved to another LEA? B, code the student as FOS01 foster care and J-Direct Cert? Or C, enter withdrawal code 02, placed in the custody of the Department of Children's Services to be educated in a Youth Development Center or DCS affiliated school. I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about your answer. And let's check your answer. The answer is B, FOSO1, foster care, and J direct cert. We do that because the student is entering foster care and remaining in the LEA. Therefore, you code him or her as FOSO1 foster care and J direct cert. Let's do another one. Here we have a student who is attending school at one of our elementary schools in Volunteer County. The court, independent of DCS, has granted the student's grandmother custody and placed the student with her until things are more stable at home. There is an open DCS case on the student. The grandmother lives in Simpson County. How do you code and move forward with this student? A, Volunteer County should code the student as FOSO1 foster care and J direct cert. B, Volunteer County should withdraw the student and the student should enroll with Simpson County as a standard enrollment. Or C, Simpson County should enroll the student and code as FOSO1 foster care and J direct cert. The answer is B. Volunteer County should withdraw the student and the student should enroll with Simpson County as a standard enrollment. Why? Because this student's placement was not made by DCS. Therefore, this child will not meet the federal definition of a child in foster care. So his or her move to another LEA is treated the same as any other student relocating from one LEA to another. Hopefully you got 100% on those two scenarios. This is just a reminder for you about the process to use for research queries. To check your data in EIS, be sure to log in as a district or school user. You then select Data Reports, Research Queries. Then select the Student Classifications Research Query. Select the year, enter 2022 for the upcoming school year. Select Student Classifications and the Foster Care FOSO1 Student Classification. To run that query, select View Report. To download that data in CSV or Excel format, use the file icon to the right of Find, Next. The research query results will include a record for each student flagged with the FOSO1 foster care student classification. You'll find student and student identifiers on the left and the FOSO1 foster care student classification on the right. Next, let's talk about DCS educational placements. It's an area that we receive a lot of questions about, and it can be confusing. It's important to understand that the Department of Children's Services approves in-house educational programs in their Level 3 and Level 4 programs, as well as some Level 2 programs. Level 3 and Level 4 programs are more intensive and primarily residential programs. If a student is attending an in-house school at a DCS educational placement, he or she should be withdrawn from the LEA using withdrawal code 02, which is placed in the custody of the Department of Children's Services to be educated in a Youth Development Center or DCS affiliated school. DCS is considered an LEA, so when a student is placed by DCS and is attending a DCS in-house school, DCS then becomes the LEA for the child. DCS also has non-educational placements. So not every DCS placement will have that in-house DCS approved school. Some examples of this include foster care placements in private homes, juvenile detention centers, and in the state of Tennessee, we still have Level 2 group homes. Students who are in the custody of DCS placed in a program or home without an in-house school should attend the public school for which the foster family, group home, or program is zoned. These students are considered to be in foster care. They're on the foster care list that the school nutrition department receives, and they should be coded as FOSO1 foster care and J-Direct Cert. All right, let's check for understanding on this particular component. We have a student, Jacqueline, who was recently placed in DCS custody. DCS placed her at Simpson Academy, which operates a DCS-approved in-house school in Simpson County. Do you withdraw the student? A, yes, withdraw Jacqueline using withdrawal code 02 for students withdrawn to DCS Educational Placements. B, no, keep her enrolled and code her with the KN student classification for students placed in an in-state residential facility. Or C, withdraw Jacqueline so that she can enroll in Simpson County schools. I'll give you a couple of seconds to think that through. And the answer is A. You're going to withdraw Jacqueline using withdrawal code 02 for students withdrawn to DCS Educational Placements. Why? She's being placed by DCS in a DCS contract placement that contains an approved in-house school. Therefore, she should be withdrawn using withdrawal code 02. Okay, let's do another one. Here we have a student named Martin in home county schools. He was recently placed in the custody of DCS, and DCS placed him in a level 2 group home in Lyon County. The group home does not have an in-house school. What should you do? Do you A, keep Martin enrolled in home county and code him as FOSO1 foster care? B, have home county withdraw Martin using withdrawal code 03 transferred to another Tennessee school system, where Lyon County would then enroll Martin and code him as FOSO1 foster care and J-Direct Cert. Or C, withdraw Martin to DCS custody using withdrawal code 02. What do you think? And the answer is B. Home county is going to withdraw Martin using withdrawal code 03 transferred to another Tennessee school system, and Lyon County will enroll Martin and code him as FOSO1 foster care and J-Direct Cert. And why is that? Martin is in the custody of DCS, but he's placed in a setting that does not contain an in-house DCS-approved school. Therefore, his placement should be considered a foster placement, and he should be coded as FOSO1 foster care and J-Direct Cert. Lyon County will then immediately enroll Martin and code him FOSO1 and J-Direct Cert. Just a few suggestions for you to make sure that you have good data quality. Please be sure that you are regularly collaborating with anyone involved in attendance, EIS, federal programs, and other colleagues to ensure that your data are coded properly. Frequently check your data in your student information system and EIS and upload revisions as needed. If you require additional departmental resources, please refer to the FPO Data Manual, which you can find in ePlan TDOE Resources under Federal Programs Data, the FPO Data Manual. You can also refer to the department's Planning and Monitoring Guidance and Reference Materials webpage. Links are included in this presentation. And finally, if you have questions about the foster care program or DCS educational placements, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Again, I'm Jackie Jacobson, the foster care point of contact for the state of Tennessee, and you have my contact information here. If you have questions about coding of FOSO1 foster care and J-Direct Cert students, please contact Trish Kelly, our FPO data manager, and you see her email here. And if you have questions about EIS errors, restaging problems, things that I really can't answer, please contact the District Technology Support Team at the email listed here. Thank you all so much for your kind attention, and truly we appreciate everything that you do.